Hey folks, how's it going? This is Seagull here, back with another My Sims 4 wishlist video. So I thought I'd follow up on the last episode where I talked about features that I'd like to see added to the existing beds in the game, like breakfast in bed and the cuddling, all that sorts of stuff. But there's other bed types that I'd like to see as well, and I figure I'd focus on two of the ones that I want most. Well, if you consider the second one a bed, because I want bunk beds and sleeping bags. Murphy beds are something I want as well, although I can't really think of anything different for those, but mainly with the bunk beds and sleeping bags. I think those would be really good, especially for slumber parties if those are brought back. And also, just for family play in general, and for saving space. Bunk beds could have a few different styles, like one to go with the base game modern furniture, one to go with the sort of more colonial feel that could also fit really well into places like Granite Falls, and maybe a kind of sci-fi looking one that would kind of fit in if we ever got some sort of sci-fi themed pack in the future. Actually, now that I think about it, we already have aliens with Get to Work, so it would already make some sense. There are a couple of new interactions that I'd like to see with the bunk beds as well. Like, say if both the siblings are tired at the same time, there's a chance that, especially if they're in a bad relationship, can squabble over who gets top bunk. And also, if your siblings have a bad relationship, there's a chance that the sim sleeping in the bottom bunk will kind of punch or kick at the top bunk to disturb their sibling who's sleeping in the top bunk. I just think that'd be really funny and would add a lot of realism as well, especially to add a little bit more onto the sibling rivalries from the Parenthood game pack. And of course, in addition to the expected 2-bunk variation, there'd also be the one where you just have the top bunk and then you can place things like desks underneath it to save space. Now I'd like to talk about sleeping bags. They're really useful for pretty much the same reasons as the bunk beds, except the ones in Sims 3 could only have one sim in them at a time, and were portable much like tents. Sure, Picky Pikachu did make sleeping bags for The Sims 4 quite a while ago, but I still think Maxis should make them themselves with better animations and maybe more options than their Sims 3 counterpart. Like, maybe we could also have a sleeping bag that fits up to 2 Sims. Imagine a couple all wrapped up together in a sleeping bag underneath the stars. And, oh yeah, of course they could woohoo. It'd look pretty much the same as normal bad woohoo, so I don't think it'd be that difficult to put in. And there should be a size of sleeping bag for toddlers too. I mean, it only makes sense, especially considering that they did update the tents from Outdoor Retreat to accommodate for toddlers, so why not do the same for sleeping bags whenever they put them in? And if they ever do add slumber parties into the game, then of course the guests would be able to have their own sleeping bags with them automatically, so that once it's time for you to say, okay, it's time for all of us to go to sleep, then they'll unfurl their own sleeping bags and go to sleep instead of just hoping they'll go to sleep on their own and not do that at all. And to make vacations a little bit more convenient, sleeping bags could be bought from the ranger station in Granite Falls and the marketplace in Selva Dorada. As for how these two beds should be implemented, I think they should be put into University. That's probably the most appropriate place at this point because they've already missed a few good opportunities like Jungle Adventure and maybe City Living and Parenthood. That would have actually been a really good pack to put them in as well, but we haven't completely run out of opportunities for them, so yeah, I can imagine bunk beds really fitting into a university campus, and sleeping bags could also be the same, especially if you have like an outdoor party and you want to sleep under the stars afterwards or something along those lines. And one other idea I just randomly came up with at the last minute was waterbeds. They wouldn't really add too much to the game. There'd be like a bit of different animations when your Sims get in and out of them, but I just think it'd be really hilarious to see a cat get out its claws and pop the waterbed and just have all the water flow out. I don't know, I just think that'd be really funny, even though I guess it'd be kind of stupid. But that's all the ideas I have for bunk beds and sleeping bags in The Sims 4. I think they'd be really great to have in the game, especially in terms of saving space. So let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see them back as well, and maybe other bed types too that I might have not thought of mentioning here. But be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe, because it lets me know that you like my channel, my videos, and it helps you keep up to date more easily with the latest content from me. I do videos on The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more, so I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!